Hi, welcome back. It has been entirely too long since we've been together, in my opinion. I am so excited to sit with you all today, and I'm going to do my best attempt, and I mean it. Deep breaths, everyone. Few deep breaths. I'm going to do my best attempt at being as vulnerable and transparent with each of you at how today has gone. I've had some really cool things happen in the past couple of weeks, and I couldn't wait to sit to these mics and debrief with each of you. But Norman said that he would come sit his cute butt over there and do it with me in a little bit. And so that leaves me to do this show about what I love the most normally, which is health and wellness and the holistic approach that we're going to take towards it. I had kind of alluded to that in the last episode. And then at the very end of the show today, I'm going to take you moment by moment through my workout that I have been using for the past 4.5 months, just like a song that I have had on repeat. I have decided to do the same workout for 4.5 months, and I'll tell you a lot more about that later. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. I'm going to try to be as honest with y'all as I can. One of my favorite shows was 2 shows ago, I want to say. The one that is called, maybe the one about 2 alphas getting married, maybe. I think it was the episode with Jay and I think it was 2 back. The reason that I was really proud of that episode, for 7.5 years, we had our podcast for our marriage and blended family and our relationship. It, I would say, doubled as our marriage counseling, but it honestly just flat out was our marriage counseling, and we were just letting y'all in on it. That honestly, I've told people we would not be married without moving on again. There's no way Jay and I would have survived what we walked through without moving on again. I fully believe that. I owe it everything. Our charming God laid that on my heart, and he knew that Jay and I would need to be able to sit to these mics, to be able to lean in as close to each other and grab onto each other as tight as we could to survive what we walked through. The reason I had gone back to referencing moving on again, y'all are going to see that I'm pretty scatterbrained today. And you'll know why when it's all done. In moving on again, we would wake up and know that later in the evening, we were going to record. And I promise you, we could have been good for 2-3 weeks. But the moment we were supposed to record, it was like the spiritual warfare set in, and it would just be like lit matches between us all day long. And it would end up 10 times out of 10 take us out. And so we were just be like, should we stop the podcast to save our marriage? We looked at it incorrectly sometimes, as we do, because if we weren't saying we were going to record, would these lit matches be between us? Would it be this tense of a situation, this much on the line? And it was like every time it came for us to record, we would get in a dust up, is what we called it. Oh, geez, no, dust ups. And then eventually I started not telling Jay, which was a little tricky because Jay was our host and I was the scheduler. And so that was a little tricky. I want to say maybe it went over text and just with very little notice, as minimal notice as I could give him. Hey, let's record in a couple hours. He would be ready, giddy up. We would do it, and there would be no dust ups. When I started this show, I started feeling, instead of that marital relational turmoil, I started feeling an internal turmoil. And when I taught myself a couple of episodes that who cares if we're in a dust up, it's not going to take us out. We're either going to record happy or we're going to record real. Which one are y'all going to get? And when I proved to myself in front of you guys that even though Jay and I were in a dust up, we could still move forward with our lives and not have to pivot because of the conflict. We could still live our life within the conflict. And that's been the theme of today. I woke up, and the moment I woke up, everything, just missiles launched at my brain. It's the last day of summer for our kids. You didn't do enough with the kids. Do you have anything planned for today, special on their last day? I need to wake up and record a couple of episodes, but why would you take time to record? This is their last day of summer. Liza wanted me to go sit at the hair salon for a few hours with her. We had relaxed all weekend, and coming on the heels of relaxing, which I think y'all would know, it's just not easy for me. So when I do press pause and rest, it's so hard. It's hard for the next day for me not to just hit the ground running. So it was hard for me after a day of rest to go rest on a hair salon couch for a few hours. So luckily I was honest with her and was like, look, my mind is full and my plate is full and I'm so sorry, but you have to go on your own. And got a little bit of mom guilt on that one, which is just totally normal. And then we've got a couple going back to school, and there's just not a lot of happy surrounding that right now because of different things that go along with your kids going back to college. We're just in a tough day, and got a couple of kids struggling and grappling, and so it's like you take that on and internalize that, and just heavy. So I sat down to record, and it was like 7 takes where I'm starting and stopping, deleting, starting back over. It's not easy for me to get to the camera because I'm like strapped in. So I did that song and dance 7 times. And on the 7th one, I got into this real cool flow and I was so excited. And my camera beeps and it's overheated. And I just, like you can imagine, it was in that moment that I got to E. The reason I'm so happy I got to E is because I didn't start this morning with a workout, and I knew better not to not start this morning with a workout. 2 things. Not only did I not start this morning with a workout, I didn't work out this week while I was in Pennsylvania. We were just going, and their little tiny gym, bless their hearts, had 2 treadmills and a Peloton, and I'm just not really into either. I mean, I can make it work, but I just needed a dumbbell, and they didn't have one, and I didn't feel like I could travel with one. That's my excuse. Didn't get a workout in Pennsylvania. I did get workouts in Tulum. I worked out 3 of the 3 mornings that we were there, had really wonderful workouts. And the gym could not be further from our room. So it's like I got a really wonderful warm up on the way, a really wonderful cool down on the way. Either way, from Monday to Monday, this girl, lazy bones. I'm not even kidding. So I'm on E. I don't go a week without working out. Working out is my favorite. It's something that makes me feel wonderful. I think it makes me feel more wonderful than it does others. I was a trainer for 15 years, and I saw what happened to some folks when I trained them, and they didn't seem like endorphins were being released. They didn't seem like they were enjoying themselves. That's not how I feel. I'm just on top of the world when I get done with a wonderful workout. And I crave that feeling. So knowing that I haven't done that for 7 days, and knowing that I should have woken up and done that, not that I'm not shaming myself, because it will come. We have a lot. It's 2:30. We have tons of day left. And so I can't wait to get to a wonderful gym and work it out. But it's fun for me to record, just like I'm in that dust up with Jay. And I'm going to just record. I'm going to get here on E and record and then just see what comes out, because like we were saying in the dust up episode, it's like I don't ever want to just present something to y'all that's perfect and polished and pretty. 3 Ps, huh? It's like a sermon. I want to be able to show you all the sides. If I'm going to show you a side, I need to show you a lot of the sides. And our pastor used to say, don't compare what you do know about your life to what you don't know about others' lives. And what he was meaning was what they're presenting online. and comparing yourself, like, our marriage doesn't look like that, so maybe we need to find someone else, or maybe we're broken, maybe we're wrong, maybe if I don't know how to make the kids' lunchboxes look like that, maybe I'm not doing good as a mom. And not realizing that when that lady's camera is off and she's done making that beautiful lunchbox, that there's other ways that she maybe doesn't show up for her children. Um, Ways that those things can absolutely even the playing field all the way across. You know, we're all here on our first trip around the sun. I know some of us, we were saying this week, we have those professional humans, the ones that just seem like they have it all together or think that they have it all together. Sometimes they seem like they can be the loudest in situations or most overt. And just remembering that we're all just here showing up every day and doing the best that we can. And I think that's a way to really connect with each other. When I was talking to you guys last week about the holistic approach, I want to be more mindful about taking and thinking it would be a good idea to take it in little bits each day of the week. So with my chat GPT, I was able to ask him to help us design a plan, and he came up with some really fun names for each day of the week, and then that way we could focus just that day on that thing. I'm recording on day 1 of our plan, and it happens to be a Monday. You guys are going to hear this on Thursday, but it's fun for me to start fresh and talk to you guys about Monday and what I can't remember. I want to say he came up with Mindful Monday, probably. And I'd asked him, do you mind making it sound a little bit more like me, which is usually his time to countrify it and make it sound a lot more Western. He'll take the ending off of words and add a hyphen. But on Monday, he deemed it Making It Make Sense Monday. And I loved it. I loved it. This was his take on a mental and physical approach to a Monday. And the reason it resonated with me so much, well, the obvious, is that my workouts do help me to make things make sense when they do not. Things can get so cloudy and distracting until I can get my workout. And a lot of times I'm confused as to why does that cause the fog and the smoke to clear? Is it just me? Is it all of us? And so I wanted to delve a little bit deeper into what exactly is going on in our bodies when we are training. And I want to do that in a second. But my favorite podcast, y'all know, is Armchair Experts with Dax Shepard and Monica Padman. And Dax Shepard, over the years, has alluded back to a friend coming to him with a struggle or a problem that just had really gotten them strangled in a stranglehold. And he said the first thing that he would ask the friend to do is to just go knock out a wonderful hour of exercise and then come back or call him back, and then that they could go over it and that they weren't going to see it the way they did before, and that they were going to have a whole different perspective on it. I resonate with that so much because 10 times out of 10, that is what a workout does for me. And luckily, I really do enjoy. It's probably chicken or the egg. I don't know if I just love working out or I love the feeling that a workout gives me. So I wanted to see, is that in our minds or what is going on in our bodies when we are exercising? So there's a few things that are going on, definitely in terms of hormones. You've heard that our exercise helps us to release mood boosters, which are endorphins. But one of the first things that happens is you get kind of a hit of like happy chemicals. And happy chemicals in our body are going to be those endorphins that I was telling y'all. Those are our body's natural painkillers. And then we, of course, have our dopamine, our serotonin, and our norepinephrine. I have quoted on this show before Tal Ben-Shahar. He says, cardiovascular activity is more potent than any psychiatric drug we possess. And the moment I heard that on Armchair Expert with Dax and Monica, they had him, I want to say over pandemic, and that's when we were all exercising a bunch. But as soon as I heard it, I was like, yeah, I know that to be true. I have felt that about exercise forever. It's just a case of getting it done, isn't it, sometimes? And so those happy chemicals are the first thing that they want to talk about when you're working out. The second thing is the stress hormones that we struggle with and grapple with. Those tend to be regulated in exercise. So that's going to be like your cortisol. Exercise is going to help you to lower those cortisol levels. And then it's going to act like a pressure release valve. And so you can kind of burn the tension before it turns into something further. So it almost acts like a kind of when you light that, you light that line to dynamite and you can see it. It's going. And as soon as it gets to the dynamite, it's going to blow. It's like, that's how it is with that anxiety is like, it's coming, it's getting worse, it's coming. And so exercise acts as a way to kind of stomp out that line before it gets to the dynamite is what's in my head. The third one, I love this one. I talked to you guys about this probably 4 episodes or 5 episodes ago when I was kind of bidding to those of you that are kind of stuck in your bed right now, that if you could just muster a few leg raises or hip bridges, you don't have to talk to anyone about it. You don't have to explain to your partner why you haven't spoken in 3 days, but all of a sudden you're doing some hip bridges. But that blood flow from your hips and those legs are biggest muscles that we possess. And the bigger the muscle, the more blood flow we're going to have and the higher our heart rate is going to be. So we've got that blood pumping. And guess where that blood goes? Straight to your brain. And so that's where that mind and that body connection, somehow, I don't know why we were taught that they aren't in sync. But we have to start realizing that they just go hand in hand. And when one's not good, the other one can't be. And so that blood flow is going to be the brain flow. The more movement, the more oxygen and nutrients to your brain. That's why we're going to feel clearer, lighter, and more present. The fourth one, you shift from I can attest to this one, except I haven't worked out yet. You can shift from fight or flight to flow. And that's what's going to happen. Well, it's what's happening to me now because I'm getting to pour it out and I can feel each of you sharing the load with me. But what's going to happen this afternoon when I do get that workout, I'm going to shift from all of the many things that I tried to express to you when we opened the show that I kind of struggled with today. I'm going to be able to kind of leave those on the floor of the gym as I work things out. And I'm going to switch from that fight or flight. I don't know what to do. This is a lot of feelings. What do I do with these feelings? I'm going to be able to open my hands and let those fall to the ground as I get my workout on. And I just, go back to those hormones and those stress releases and those mood boosters, all of these wonderful things that will be happening in my body while I'm doing something that I enjoy. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be long. It just has to be. Whether it's 100 jumping jacks in your living room or a walk around the block or a CrossFit workout, it can look like a boxing. Y'all have seen my boxing videos. It can be something that you just truly enjoy, a hike, a swim, a kayak. Maybe you like to do, what are the things where the guys wrestle on the ground with each other? I heard that is awesome. You can do your Orange Theory. You can do your Pilates. You can do your bar workouts, your fitness videos, Juice and Toya. fitness marshal. There's just so many ways that you could figure out something that you love, that's just yours. Taking a second. If you're listening and you're like, I want something and I don't have anything, DM me and we can talk about it. We can kind of go over things that worked for you in the past, or what do you have readily available? Do you have dumbbells in your living room? Do you have a treadmill in the basement? Do you have a laptop and an open space of floor? Do you have a local boxing gym? What do you have that we can kind of go over? And then you can try out a few times and see if that's it. If not, we can pivot. It's just going to be fun and we'll do it together. The last one that they wanted to talk about, like what happens within your body when you're working out, and that's just confidence and control come back online. And that's what they were saying is just stacking the wins, stacking the 5-minute workouts here, 5-minute workouts there. It just doesn't have to look like something big. It doesn't have to be big or long or intense. And it doesn't have to be an hour, and it doesn't have to be this much weight, and it doesn't have to be this many reps. If there's anything that I've learned over the past 4.5 months, it's that. I made it exactly how I wanted it to look, and it's transformed my body and my mind and my spirit and my heart in such a way that I want to tell you all about it, and I am going to. And so anyways, I feel like that kind of gives a little bit more definition to what is going on inside of us instead of exercise is good for you. You got to do it. It's good. I think there are those of us that are like, but yeah, why? Like what's going on? Exactly what's going on. And sometimes that could give us just a little last bump to where we can take a step into going to that first workout. I do want to say there have been not so many, but there have been several of you that reached out after our last episode because I asked you to direct message me and you did. And I just want to tell you thank you because it made my heart sing every time I opened a message. But several of you are doing the weighted marches and letting me know how that's going. And I am over the moon excited to hear about that. Maybe when Jay was here, I told y'all that we had sat on my church pew outside and kind of talked about, I felt like I was at an impasse and I just thought, sky is the limit and I'm just so scared of dreaming too small. So I just need help with this next little season. What is that going to look like? And Jay said, why don't you dive into your fitness content? And the reason it didn't feel right to me is because I hadn't realized that it could be holistic. It could be, I don't want it to just be, I'm a gym girl. I've been there and I've done that. And there are wonderful girls that I can point you towards and men. But I don't feel that in my spirit anymore, just because I feel like that part of me is done. And so when he said something, I was like, I don't know. I feel like I've been there. I feel like the market on that is pretty saturated. But then when we talked about it more, I just realized, oh my hell, we can hit it from a holistic approach. And that way, because I don't want to stop talking about my faith to start talking about my workouts. And the answer is, do you want to start talking about your faith and your workouts? And the answer is a resounding yes. And so in this, our holistic health is emotional and mental and spiritual and, of course, physical. And the beautiful thing is that they're all connected. And the trickier part is that when one falls to the side or one you get a little bit obsessive or addictive, maybe you're better at working out than you are meditation. Maybe you are better at your quiet time and prayer because you like to sit with your coffee at 5 a.m. than you are to get your butt moving. Sometimes you can pick your favorite and kind of let one fall to the wayside. And the neat thing is that our Lord, our charming God, made us really accountable. Our bodies and our minds and our hearts are very accountable. And so if one of those starts to slightly get left out, you will feel it. And so that's where I feel like I can help. I love it. I told y'all in the last episode, when I was 17 years old, I was like, I want to know all of it. I want to know how the mind works with the body, and the body with the heart, and the emotional heart, and the heart with the faith. I want to know all of it. And when I know exactly where I was sitting when our professor taught us about holistic health. And I was like, that's me. I just couldn't wait to find out everything we need to learn about it. We had that conversation, and I just felt so excited to have a direction, and more of a direction. Of course, we'd already started this amazing show where I could interact with each of you. But I wanted my online content to match up more with my heart and my vision, and it be more inside the arena. I've talked about that with you. Not trendy and cute and maybe popular, but the good stuff, the deep stuff, the enriched stuff that if you are going to be scrolling on your phone, at least there be a video on there that can help you grab another gear into learning more about yourself in this world around us. So that next morning, I was at the gym, and we'd had that talk, my husband and I was at the gym, and I looked at my phone and I realized that it was 1 month after I started my fitness journey. It was exactly 1 month. And I've been in the fitness game for 25 years. And so my first reaction was, well, do I have a picture from a month ago? And I'll go to my archive on my phone, on my photos, and I actually have a video of doing a weighted march the first day of exercising. And I quickly realized that I'm wearing a pair of my favorite shorts from Target. They're actually Target sleep shorts, but they're bike shorts and they're ribbed, and they're probably my favorite piece of clothing that I own. And I'm wearing a teal tank top in the video. Well, I look at myself, and I know this isn't that odd because it is my favorite. It is my favorite, or it was my favorite outfit. I need to grab another tank top because it's gotten kind of we need a new one. It's gotten some sweat stains and it looks rough. Looks like it's been worked out in. And you guys, it has. And so I look at this video and I look at myself and I'm like, holy hell, I'm wearing the same outfit. I could do a 1 month progression and show them what it looks like from that day one to sitting there. And I need to go back because I'm lying. It wasn't 30 days. It was 21 days. It was 3 weeks. But I don't know that at the time of the video. I don't know that it's 3 weeks when I'm making the video. I just know that on day one, I'm wearing this outfit and I'm doing a weighted march. And if I do a weighted march right then in the same outfit, I will really get to see if there's been any change. And in my mind, there really wasn't going to be any, but you know how you're just hopeful? Like, dear God, please let me be able to see some type of difference. And let that difference push me into the next week and help me to increase my speed and passion for these workouts. And I just knew it would be a wonderful place to start with my new content. So I do the first video, and then I try to line up my camera exactly the right way. I was luckily was I in the same gym? I think I was in the same, maybe a different location, just a town over. And I try to line up the angles and get the camera same height as it was, and I do the video. When I was alluding a minute ago that I didn't know it was 3 weeks later, when I go to put the day caption on the video, I went back to look at dates, and that's when I realized it was from day 1 to day 21. And I can't even express to you the difference. And in my head, I would have never known ever that there was any difference in the 2 videos or the 21 days. I would have never known that I'd gained any ground, lost any inches. I know that I felt better, and I know that I'd gotten a little addicted to it in a nice little way to where it was kind of becoming quickly a non-negotiable, because I had been trying to habit stack, and my workout was, I think, the third part of my stacking. I'll tell y'all about that a little bit more in a minute too. And so I press post, and I've had videos go viral on TikTok, not so much on Instagram. Instagram does show your reels to a lot more people, but I haven't had one really go viral in a while. Dusty and I had one, my ex-husband, go viral. We were exchanging a dress, and I forget what it went to. Something crazy like 20 million. I don't know. It was dumb and wild. But anyways, I hadn't really had a meaningful video go that viral. So I posted, and quickly you can tell they're both going. You can almost tell if a video is going to go viral kind of in the first hour or two. It just takes a different path. If it's going to flop, it'll go 150, 165, 171. If it's going to go viral, it'll go 3,000, 15,000, 19,000. Like it just goes really fast. Well, I realized quickly that the TikTok one was going very fast and also on Instagram. And I've never had them go at the same time. Not ever, not once. And do you know that one on TikTok went to 5.4 million views, and the one on Instagram went to 5.2 million views? I could not, let me check, make sure. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. That one on TikTok went to 5.1 million views, and the one on Instagram went to 4.7 million views. And I've never had them go together. I've definitely never had a video after a church pew talk completely confirm that what we discussed may be the right thing that you've decided. And I just thought it was such a neat nod from our God that I had even called my best friend and told her, and she's like, it's almost like you're doing the right thing, huh? It's almost like you choose the right thing, like kind of being passive aggressive. And I was like, yes, it's just been so nice. Such a nice confirmation that what we talked about was the right way. And so little by little, we're kind of peeling back the layers to try to see what all of this is. I think around the time that I turned 40, I started realizing that I like a song so much that I just want that song. And I want to play it over and over and over, and not for a day or a week, but sometimes 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks. Once I find my song, I just want to hear it over and over and over. It's almost like I know exactly what's going to happen. There's no surprises. There's no songs coming on there that I don't really care for. But when I jumped in to this holistic health and wellness space online, I really wanted to be able to, because when the weighted marches went viral, everybody's like, that's all you did? I'm like, no. Like, I never wanted anyone to think that's all I did. That's just the only way I could show the progression. I can't really show an entire workout and then show the entire, you know what I mean? Like, I just needed a little movement, one movement to just show the difference. But I tried to be really clear on each time I posted that this movement was a part of a bigger picture. And so when I started out my journey on April 1st, I decided to return to the gym because I tried to think if I wanted to go back to CrossFit or I wanted to go back to something more intense, or if I wanted to just do my own thing and do the things that made me feel best. So that's what I did. I went back to the gym and I just did all of the things that made me feel so nice. Pilates arms had become real popular online, and I wanted to try those things. There were a few movements that I'm going to tell you about in a minute that I would do to warm up. I would warm up my arms with these really light 5-pound dumbbells or 3-pound dumbbells, and then I would go into my bench press or my cable work. And I wanted to know, what would my arms do if I just stuck with those? I didn't go on to something heavy. I just stayed with those warm-up exercise. But what I changed is I did more of them and I did them more often. And then I applied that idea to the rest of my workout. And so the idea in my head was going to be nothing more than 10 pounds an arm. In fact, 10 pounds per arm is still heavy for me. I'm just staying nice and breezy. And so putting 10 pounds per arm, I wanted to make my body work less than 20. So my weighted vest is a 20. That's the max that I do. When I do my weighted marches, I hold an 18-pound kettlebell. I'm just trying to keep it nice and light. And I'm doing it in such a way that I enjoy. And so if I do, everyone's like, do you do 3 sets or 5 sets and then you move to the next one? And I'm like, it really just depends on what's going on that day. And I have to do it exactly the way my brain makes it make sense. And if I can do that, then I'm not in really like a uncomfortable, this is not good for me, I don't want to do this. If I can do it, if I can kind of go with my brain on, this is how you like to do things. And so this may be like how you like to work out. Let's see. And so I went down the path of, doing a set of these here and then going to another part of the gym where I feel like more excited because I'm not stuck in this one little part. Sometimes I'll do 3 sets of leg, then go do a set of arms, and then go back and do 3 sets of core. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's almost just like pick the next best thing. And just like I said, it's like organized chaos. And so since I don't have to follow anybody's rhyme or reason or them saying that's not going to work and me being like, well, it does for me, and so that gives me some autonomy and gives me some control over my own workout. Another thing that I do that is not, it's unpopular opinion, is if I want to do the workout 2 days in a row, I just do. And people, that's what my degree is in kinesics and exercise physiology. And so I've been surrounded by people that are like, that's not right, or you can't do this, or you have to do this. And everybody's just conflicting each other. Everybody is saying the opposite of each other. Everybody's trying to be the loudest and most right and have the most followers. And if anybody gets going with something good, somebody's going to find a way to debunk it. And I just feel like it leaves the common person like us, just like my dad used to say, not knowing whether to wind their butt or scratch their watch. It's like you take the motivation that you have to finally get up and get moving, and all of that noise, I hate noise. That noise comes in and takes out that little bit of motivation you found because you're just so scared of doing it wrong. And then you'll put yourself out there and say, I tried this, and you're going to hear all the ways that you didn't do it correctly. And I'm sick of that. Well, y'all, and my little girl, she's just got the bug for exercise and working out. And I've heard little questions and sentences come out that I'm so glad she brought to me so that we can talk through it. Let me think of an example. Well, if I can't get enough protein in, is it any use to even work out? I know where that's coming from. I know the videos that she's talking about that she's probably seen. I know the noise that comes that would make her wonder that. I know exactly why she's wondering it. But it goes back to like the many things that goes on within our body when we are training. And so I was able to sit with her and just be like, yes, those things can feel intricate and complicated, but I can promise you that there are no reasons for you to say, this workout was a waste. You're never going to get done with your workout and be like, I just really wish I hadn't done that. There's no good that can come from that because that's just not ever going to be the case. And so are there details that you want to hammer out? Sure. But for those details to become so loud and so heavy and so nerve-wracking to keep you out of the game, I just don't want that for you, and I don't want that for my kids, and I don't want that for myself. And so I pray that you will dial in with me on that aspect. Saying I don't know what to do, so I don't do anything, is so normal and so common. And so definitely no shame, but let's just take a step forward. And I promise you, anything that you can get done, I've got some at-home workouts on my online stuff. I can make some more online workouts for all of you. And that's what I was saying is just message me and tell me what you have. Maybe you just have a space in the floor. That's all you have. You and a space in the floor. You and me can come up with the most phenomenal workout that you'll be so excited. And I promise you, you don't need anything. Stuff can help, but you don't need anything to get started. So just reach out. I promise. I promise you're not bothering me. I promise you that I'm not being inundated by messages. And I promise that when I say that I want you to reach out with this, I mean it. Why would I say it? But anyways, I digress. Back to the workout. So I designed this workout on April 1st. I've been doing this workout for 4.5 months. As soon as everything went viral and I got all of these new followers, it was just really important for me to be able to develop some type of plan. We're going to do this workout for 3 weeks, and then we're going to change it to this workout. And then we're going to and in my mind, workouts should change every 6 weeks because that's kind of how we were taught back then. I sat down with pen to paper several times when it was time to change it, and nothing would work. It was just like I was coming face to face with a wall. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried to do something and there's just no going forward. You're just stuck. But whenever I went to pivot and progress and change the workout so that our bodies don't plateau and we don't get bored and all of the things that make everything so overcomplicated in our lives, everything just kept going. You love that workout. And I'm like, I know, but I've done it. And my mind's like, but we love it. Why are you getting rid? And I'm like, well, maybe I love it, but I bet they don't. And something in me was like, sit in another seat. You have never done this before, not in your entire life. I think the only thing that would look most similar to this would be I did Tae for several months. I even had it as a semester in college. We had a Tae Billy Blanks kickboxing class, and I had it on VHS. I would do it like twice a day, and I got into the most phenomenal shape. I think his son is in the fitness realm, and then I think I've seen a few videos of him. It's just been such nostalgia for me because he really kind of saved my life back then. So I think Billy Blank's Tae would be the thing that I did try over and over and over and over for months. But as far as like a workout, what I didn't realize would be the mental benefit of walking into a gym and knowing exactly what I'm going to do. It made me fall in love with the process because I don't have to take any more extra capacity. I don't have to pour anything from my cup to figure out what I'm going to do. I already know. I've known it for 4.5 months now, exactly what I'm going to do. So but kind of the agreement I made with myself when I was doing Dylan's, I was like, okay, we'll keep it. But they're going to think we're weird. We'll have to get that all the way. And if I plateau or I do finally get bored, like, when you finally do get to that point where you've played the song for 2 months and it's time to pick a new one or your children are going to scream if you ever play it again, then I will change then. But we're just not there, y'all. And, it could happen tomorrow. I don't think it will because I've been off for a week. And so I'm just like, oh, I just cannot wait to get there this afternoon and just the wonderful ways my body is going to feel after I go through my favorite workout I've designed. And you'll have those exercises that along the way you figured out either you love them or you hate them. Maybe you love them because you do them, and the next day that muscle stands up just a little differently. And so it's almost like in one day you can feel progress. Or you hate them because you want to throw up the entire time you're doing mountain climbers or burpees. Just examples. Those are not mine. Yes, they are. But I took my workout and I just took like all of my favorites and piecemealed them together. And then over the course of doing it over and over and over, I have let a few things kind of modify because I was like, I could switch that, work the same muscle group and just do it this way. Or I was leaving out a muscle group and I wanted to kind of implement it. So this is what it looks like. I'm kind of already over time. And so I'm going to go through it pretty fast, but this workout is all over my TikTok and it's all over my Instagram, meaning you can go to TikTok or you can go to Instagram under Jess Rush Norman and find this workout. It's pinned on both. Or you can text me and I'll send it to you. Third, it's time for me to make a new version of it. Not a new version, but a new video because it keeps getting kind of low in the order. And so if I can make a new one, it just kind of keeps it fresh. And that's fun for me to do. And so this is what it looks like. I'm going to go through it really fast because I want to finish with my moment of connection this week. I walk in the gym. This is what it may look like. This is the order that it may look like. I'll go to what feels right for me as I'm telling it to you. I go in the gym. I do about 6 minutes of incline walking on a treadmill just to get my heart pumping, my blood pumping, and get my heart rate up. I get my watch on. I turn it onto exercise or cardio. From there, I go to the dumbbells and I grab the 5s. And I do an open and close with I have my elbows at 90 degrees. I do an open and close, which would be called, I bet you, an shoulder abduction. It just means I'm going to go out with my dumbbells, holding it at my waist and then going out. I'm going to do 15 of those. Then I'm going to take it from here and I'm going to go up and I'm going to do 15 up. And then I'm going to take the dumbbells and I'm going to do some around the worlds. I'm going to do 15 of those. Lately, I've been going through that 3 times. So I just do 3 sets of 15. If I get bored doing that, or maybe someone's come and grabbed the 5s or the 8s, I'll go do something else. And then I'll just leave that last set for the end whenever I want to come back and do it. From there, I move over to my standing stuff. So I go find my 18-pound kettlebell. I hold it all the way over my head and I bring my knees up to my waist and I do a standing march. I count my right knee. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I do 15 of those. I have the weight in both hands stretched as high above me as I can. After that, I put the weight in one hand. I pull my knee up in an oblique raise, and I'll do 15 on my right side. Then I'll go back up with the weight. I'll meet the elbow to the knee, the elbow to the knee. You'll see it in the video, elbow to the knee. I love that one because that one feels like a Billy Blanks move. Then I switch arms, and I do it on the other side. This third movement, instead of holding the dumbbell above my head with both arms and then raising each leg, alternating, I would then put the weight in one arm and just raise my opposite leg, almost like a standing dead bug. And to me, it just felt like a march and then a little bit different of a march. And so what I incorporated instead of that third one, that second march, which I feel like I was doing enough marches, let's be honest, I incorporated a standing deadlift, single leg deadlift. Those were that's one of the first movements I was ever taught. That's one of the healthiest things that you can do for your body because it's balance, it's hip strength, it's wonderful for your glutes and your hamstrings. And so when I'm at home, I wear my weighted vest and do them. When I'm at the gym, I just hold that 18-pound kettlebell. Same thing. I do 3 sets of 15 of all of that. So in my head, it's kind of in sections. I've got my Pilates arms section. I've got my standing core section. And now I'm going to go to the floor. So I'm going to go find my bolster. I'm going to lay on the mat. I'm going to put my foam roller bolster up under my hips. So my back is on the ground. My hip is up a little bit. I'm going to do some oblique rainbows. I always wear my leg weights. I put those leg weights on in the morning when I put my shoes on. And so I always have leg weights on no matter what. I'm going to put my legs in the air. I'm going to lower those rainbows for oblique legs when I'm done with that. And while I'm lowering those oblique legs, I have that kettlebell in front of my face. After I do that, I'm going to raise the kettlebell above my head and touch the ground as I lower my legs, and then I'm going to meet them back in the middle. Then I'll open them and close them for 15. Third one, I'm going to take the bolster out, and I'm going to lay those those weights on my hips, and then I'm going to press up into hip bridges for 15. I'm going to go over in the gym. If I'm in the gym, I'm going to go over to the cable machine. And I'm going to do lightweight face pulls, either 15 pounds, 20 pounds. I'm going to draw that cable all the way to my nose, hold with both arms. And I'm going to do that 15 times. And then when I'm done, I'm going to press the cable down for triceps. And that's it. Those are my favorite movements. Those feel so good to me. If I get to a weight that doesn't feel good, maybe it felt good yesterday or the day before. If I get to a weight that doesn't feel good, I stop immediately and I lighten it because I'm done. I'm done with that. I don't want to feel like I can't do this. I don't want to give my body any reason or mind any reason to not come back here tomorrow. It's like coddling a little toddler, and I'm here for it. And I've never done it, so we're sitting in another seat. This approach has never been done in my life by me. And I've just really enjoyed it. I really like it so much. So when I'm done with that entire workout, 3 sets of 15 of all of those things that I listed, we've got the 3 sets of arms, 3 sets of standing core, 3 sets of laying core, and then we have 2 cable exercises. When I'm at home with my dumbbells, I work my back and my triceps with the dumbbells to switch out the cables. When I get done with that, I go to the treadmill and I set it at a 12 incline and I go for 30 minutes. When I'm at home, that's my favorite time to take the dogs on a walk. That's my workout. I can't wait for y'all to see it. I can't wait to show you how it continues to mold and make my body into something that I've never had. I'm 45. I've never loved my body this way because it is homemade. I didn't have to do anything extreme to make it this way. I haven't had to implement macros or food into continuing to make it wonderful the way I want it to look. But I'm open to that. I'm open to doing that. It's just I did it for like 10 years. And so I'm just not really sure I'd like to go back there with food. I'd rather hit it from the sweat side because I love sweating. And that's my workout. And I've just had it for 4.5 months. I don't work out every day, but if I want to work out 2 days in a row, that has to be okay because you're not going to tell somebody they can't do sit-ups 2 days in a row. So my lightweight activity, it's fine. I promise y'all it's fine. I've even delved into that research and it's totally safe. I know I'm talking so fast because I just feel like I'm about to get cut off either by my camera or my time card because I'm at exactly 1 hour. But I just wanted to tell one last thing, and that was my moment of connection this week. We had gone to Pennsylvania to do the video cameo that I had told you guys about. And we were sitting in this pub, my friends and I that I went with, and then friends that we met there that invited us to go there. And we're sitting there, and something whooshes back to my mind. I don't know why it had gone. I guess the Lord allowed me to just put it somewhere so that I could like rediscover it and be excited all over again. I met 2 of these people when they were on each other's podcast 8 years ago. And when I met them or heard them, I realized that one of them was on a movie that when I was 20, I played over and over and over and over. And it was called, just like everything else in my life, you guys, it was called Keeping the Faith. It was one of the sweet little, he played that's with Ben Stiller, Edward Norton, and Jenna Elfman. And my friend played a young Ben Stiller. And in the movie that I would watch all the time as my comfort movie, I loved when they showed the lore, the kids, when they would go back and show where the friendships all started. I loved it. Cut to 25 years later, I'm sitting in a pub in Pennsylvania having a drink with the person that was on my TV screen all those many years ago, the person that I would play on repeat as my comfort movie. Not only that, he's the person that invited me to come be a cameo in his movie. And I just thought, what is this life? What is this life? I choose to fall madly in love with this oddly chaotic, romantic life. And I don't know what you want to take from that, because I don't think that I've gotten to sit still for long enough to even process it. I need to put, y'all know, pen to paper and decide what I think about sitting in a pub in Pennsylvania with that person. But it just made me feel like we're all so connected to each other. I know that we are. These things that keep happening in our lives as I learn how to look for them harder and harder through this show, this process of looking for these things that make me feel connected to myself and to you and to this place that we're in. Just kind of wild pants, right? I love y'all. And there's been several of you to reach out this week and just let me know that you feel like we're on FaceTime with each other, and that just couldn't be sweeter to me. I hope you know that I thank our God every time I think of you. And I can't wait to be back together. Norman's going to be with us next time. And I just can't wait to be back together again. Y'all know together is my favorite. I'll see y'all in a couple weeks.